Hello guys, welcome to Network Video. And as the name suggests, we are covering the tap interface in a Palo Alto Firewall. Let's basically understand the theory, then we will cover the practical part. Okay. So, as the tap interface name suggests, it's basically a function in a Palo Alto Firewall, like a passive observer on the network. Let's understand through an analogy phone tapping. So what happens when a phone tapping happens? So means you can hear the code. You can only listen the code. You cannot talk. You cannot block. You cannot interrupt. It's like that. We can listen the traffic. We cannot block the traffic. We are not changing the traffic. We can listen. Okay. So like what are the use cases of that? Basically, it's a network visibility, like what happened in our network. If we want to create a report or we have to submit to a team, so we can create a POC, proof of concept of that. Because in a Palo Alto Firewall, there is an option through which we can see the logs. We can, on the logs, through those logs, we can create a reports. Got my point? So basically, this is the capability of a Palo Alto Firewall. Without changing an existing network infrastructure, we can check the traffic or we can listen the traffic. Okay, we can showcase those traffic to the some kind of team if they want through the POC. So basically, that's all about the tap interface. Okay, so let's understand now one more thing here. How we can create a tap interface, like on Ethernet 1/1. We can create this interface to a tap, but how it will listen. So let's understand more in a deep, like in theory part, then we will go for the practical. So the switch is a gig 0/2. We have to create that interface to a span or a mirror port. So through this, through the span or a mirror port, it will send copy of data, copy of packet, like kind of receiving or TX, transmitting RX and the TX. It will send a copy of data through this interface to this interface, the tap. So it will, so we can through the copy of data, copy of packets, we can see the logs. Got my point? So let's cover our practical part, and these are the basically our commands through which you can understand better, and I'm also giving those commands on this video description so you can check through the GitHub. Okay, now let's start admin. This is the like by default username and password of the Palo Alto Firewall. So let's first configure. You have to give that command. Now set device config. System type static. Now we have to give that IP address. Now net mask. This is the class C by default. Now we have to give default gateway, and it's normal. If we want to give that after the default gateway DNS setting, server primary secondary, we can give that like this. Okay. So basically now on Linux, I think this is 100% done. Yeah, it's committed successfully. Now on Linux, we have to also give the IP here, and these are the through these commands we can give that IPVDR, and now we have to give that I link set our interface tab up, we have to add that gateway here as well. Yeah. Yeah. If we want to check ifconfig command, we can check. This is it. Now through the web browser, we can log in our what Palo Alto Firewall. Advanced, proceed to start. I think now we have to fill that login credential, admin. As I already mentioned, it is by default. After the login part, we can see our what Palo Alto Firewall dashboard. Yes, so this is our dashboard Palo Alto Firewall. Yes, now we are here. Now what we have to do, if we want to do like we have to create test span or a mirror, we can do that. If we want to first configure Palo Alto Firewall, we can do that. It totally depends on you. So I am first configuring the Palo Alto Firewall. We have to that the interface Ethernet 1/1. We have to give that or tap interface. Now let's start. If we want to first create a zone, basically there is an analogy, or if you want, it's basically total depends to you. Basically, it's a zone-based firewall. Palo Alto Firewall, it's a zone-based firewall. If we want to first create a zone, we can do it. We have another option. When we configuring the interface, we have an option here to create a new zone, through which we can create a new zone, or we have one more option here, add. If we want to create a zone, we can create a zone. Just type here will be the tab, because I will impact on that whole thing. Okay, so let's understand through this. The interface type, as this is already mentioned here, it is a tab. Okay, now security zone, we have to create it. We have to name tab zone. Type is already tab. Then okay, you have to must check this interface type tab, and the security zone will be the tab. Basically, we created, we assign the zone to the interface. Okay, and inside the zone, the type will be the tab. Now we have to create the policy. In this, we have to click on the policy, then security, then add option. The tab policy. Now source, we have to give that source. Source will be the tab zone. We have to give the destination. Destination also will be the tab zone, because we want the copy of data in the tab zone. Okay. So now we have to commit it. Commit all changes. Commit. So it will take some time. So now we have to create that span or a mirror port gig/02. Okay, the RX and the TX. So as these are the commands here, so let's configure this. And our Palo Alto Firewall commit is successful. Now the switching part. Enable, configure terminal, host switch one if you want to do. So we have to give that command monitor session. We have to create that first section monitor session. Now if we want to click on question mark 1 to 66 through these number, we have to give. Now let's start with the 1. Now, as I already mentioned here, we have to give that source, because this is our source. Give the 0/2, and this is our destination. Means the source will be here, like all data, RX and the TX, receiving and the transmitting data will go. This is the source. From the source, it will send a copy of these to this destination. Okay. So the source will be our interface. See. Sorry. What happened? Interface gig 02. Gig 02. This will our source. Now we have to give that destination. One destination. We give here. Now we have to just write it down. Okay, now our configuration is saved. If we want to check too, so with the show monitoring session one, we can check this. So now do session one. So source port both means TX and RX. If you want to only give TX or RX, we can define. Okay, this is our source and this is our destination port. Okay. So now we'll check our this Linux because through the DHCP, because this is an A2 switch. So through DHCP, it will take the IP. Now let's check. Yes, this is our IP. Now it's over the browser. We can check. So we want to go www.instagram.com. As you can check there, our Instagram is opening here. And now on a Palo Alto Firewall, we have to click on monitor through traffic because this is not a license. So we cannot check the traffic. So through that session browser, we can check here. All of the traffic will go through here. As you can check there. So basically, this is all about this video. I hope you will like this video. So thank you for watching this video and have a nice day.